Yo, what's going on, guys? Bush back at it with another video. The era of Palworld continues as we have yet another major update to go over. Once again, breaking another huge Steam record, so we'll talk all about it, and I'm sure at this point, a lot of you guys have sunk a considerable amount of time into the game. At this point, I also think some of you guys are nearing the point where maybe you're gonna put down the controller for a second, and you've done a good bit of content with it, but you're ready for the batch of games to be coming out in the next few weeks. I don't know where you guys are all standing. I've heard people talk about them having 30, 40, 50 hours on the game, which is just kind of crazy. That's a lot of game time. But you know what? If you get invested into a game that hard, more power to you. So let's go over some of these stats that have just come out. So Palworld has now broken Counter-Strike's all-time concurrent player peak at 1.8 million and is now the number 2 most played game ever on Steam. That's obviously concurrent players. That's what we're measuring by. To give you guys an update on Palworld's current concurrent players, it is 3 p.m. Eastern as I am recording this video. So I imagine it's not going to be as high as 1.8 million, but let's check it. It's actually fallen all the way to 986,000. And the fact that we're looking at 986,000 to be like a not so great number, that's kind of insane. But yeah, that's kind of the world we live in right now, where Palworld's success cannot be denied, and 986k is seen as a bit of a disappointment. It does seem like, as far as time zones matching up, that the morning is where we see the most amount of players concurrently. I believe it did crack over 2 million players concurrently, but at some point it is going to taper off, and it's going to be difficult to hit PUBG's concurrent player base at 3.2 million, but look, I don't think Pocket Pair was expecting this game to be the most played Steam game ever. I think the success that they've had thus far has been an outstanding success for them, and well-deserved. I think there's a lot of things, and Palworld is certainly going to be a game that developers and publishers are going to study from so many different angles, because there's so many factors that people are discussing when it comes to Palworld. First of all, to break down some of these factors and talking about the success of this game, it's not like this was a heavily marketed game. I believe the game had a presentation at Summer Game Fest last year. People kind of memed on it, but outside of that, the release was announced for January 19th, and it came up very quickly. Like, it was announced, 2-3 weeks ago that it was going to come out January 19th. I had talked about it when it was initially announced, and then the release happened right thereafter. There wasn't this huge marketing push for this game to go into early access and nothing like that, but yet this game still resonated at a high level. Why is that? Because I have said it before, but the biggest promotional vehicle that you can have that'll beat out your commercials, that'll beat out your billboards, that'll beat out, hell, even piggybacking off a hugely popular IP like a Spider-Man, a Final Fantasy, or in Palworld's case, I guess, like, you can throw Pokemon in there, but what was the most powerful thing about Palworld? It is word of mouth. That is, beyond a shadow of the doubt, the most powerful thing that you can have in gaming in terms of getting a game over to a large audience. You're gonna have one person play Palworld, and that's what happened. I'm the one, because I'm such a nerd and I follow everything gaming related, I've brought up Palworld to my friends probably weeks ago. Like, as it was coming out, I brought it up. Then they saw it and they're like, hey, this is a game that they're definitely gonna check out. All of a sudden, they're telling other people, then those people are telling other people, and the infection begins, so to speak. Not in a negative way, of course, but you got the idea. People just talk, and then it really does become a snowball effect. Like, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you start getting it hitting the mainstream zeitgeist. Like, look at that tweet that was sent out about that Pokemon mod that was coming out. I know, it won't see the light of day, but how much traction did that get? How much traction is this game getting from entertainment outlets that don't even regularly cover video games? It's everywhere at this point, and that is just from word of mouth. Now, it is not realistic for every game to have that level of word of mouth, but you don't need every game to be a Palworld. What I'm saying is, if a game is of high quality, people will find out about it if it is at that level. But a lot of the times, there is so much competition on Steam that even if a game is a good quality, like, if we have a throwback old school single player platformer with a pixel art style, like, word of mouth ain't gonna save that game. Like, I'm sorry, we just get too many of those games. Palworld also brought to the table some originality with the monster collecting style of gameplay, so that was very effective, and I see this being talked about a lot in my comment section. Guys, the $27 price tag was a very attractive price tag. This game was not $50, it was not $60, it was not, God forbid, $70, and I do believe that some games can get away with the $70 price tag. I do think your top-level games, your Final Fantasy 16s, your Spider-Man 2s can get away with $70, but your goddamn Forspokens, your goddamn Mortals of Vamio, get the F out of here with that $70 price tag. That ain't gonna fly! That just ain't gonna fly! Palworld was priced incredibly competitively at $27, and when you combine everything that Palworld had going for it with the attractive $27 price point, no wonder it was going to be a big success. Now, again, I don't think anyone could have predicted it was going to be a success at this level, but the fact is, it has been a pretty resounding success, and even if it was smaller scale than this, it would have still been a success. Even if it sold only 1 million copies, that would have been like, wow, what a success this game is, and again, when you assess this game from an early access game standpoint, just a home run wouldn't even be the superlative that I would use. The superlative I would use to describe Palworld's success isn't even a word in the dictionary. A word does not exist because this game has just... it's the best case scenario because it's been received well by the consumer. There is a lot of room to grow, and that's what I think the coolest thing about Palworld is. It is what can this game become in 9 months, 12 months, 18 months from now, because the ceiling is so high, and I don't think this is going to be a game that is going to taper off in terms of enthusiasm and excitement. Sure, is the game not going to have 1.8 million players all the time? No, it may not even have a concurrent 900,000, 600,000 players, but I do think people will be invested into Palworld as a game and as an IP going forward, and there's so many things you could do. Like, like, all my friends are playing Palworld, and I get text messages regularly from people. I just got into a conversation with somebody telling me how their experience with the game thus far, and this person is a super casual, barely plays any video games, and he's super invested into it, but he was just like, I wish they would add X, Y, Z, and every time I've heard this ad nauseum talking to people about Palworld. It's a great game, but I wish they would do X, Y, Z, whatever. I guarantee you, Pocket Pair is hearing that. I guarantee you, anything that you could think of that you want in this game, Pocket Pair is abundantly aware, and they're gonna see if they can make it into a reality. Personally, what would I like to see out of this game? I would like for, you know, with there being so many resources attached to this game now, and the ceiling being so high, it would be kind of cool to see some sort of, you know, I'm not saying it's got to be a crazy story-driven campaign, but some narrative-driven campaign, I think it would be cool if we could eventually get that. That's going to be way down the line, and right now I think people enjoy the sandbox style of gameplay, but, you know, survival games have never been my cup of tea. I don't like the never-ending style of gameplay. Like, I like there to be an end point to the games that I play, and then I move on, but, you know, obviously I'm in the minority when it comes to that. I should also add, Jeff Keighley noted on Twitter, Palworld has sold 7 million copies in 5 days on Steam alone. I've confirmed with Pocket Pair that this is a Steam-only number, not including Xbox sales or Game Pass. That translates into approximately $189 million in USD in Steam sales in 5 days. I mean, that's all you need to know to, you know, really understand the success of this game. And I guarantee you, they've got publishers at their door, knocking at the door, wanting to throw money at this game, wanting to get a piece of the pie, etc., etc. You know, sustainability is always the name of the game, but I think as long as Pocket Pair continues to do what they're doing, the ceiling for this game is just outrageously high. So really excited, and even if it's not my style of game as far as survival games go, whenever I see enthusiasm surrounding a game, especially a new IP, especially a game that came out of left field where I was aware of the game, obviously I did videos about this game before it launched, several, but you know, whenever I see the larger gaming world and even more of a casual gaming audience get into a game, that just is great to see. It's my genre, it's my entertainment of choice. Video games popping off at a level that, yeah, we do see it every now and again, but when I do see it, it makes me happy. It makes me happy when people that aren't super into video game are even talking about checking out the latest Call of Duty, because that means they're playing video games, and guess what? They're enjoying something that I enjoy, and Like, I think we should all celebrate the success of Palworld. I get it that sometimes people feel threatened by games like this, that, you know, their game of choice isn't gonna get as much love, but yo, it's more people playing video games. It's a gigantic W across the board. But I digress. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.